Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Guitar. I'm Utkarsh. Happy Friday, the 1st of October 2021. This is going to be the first in my series called Guitar Diaries, where it's literally my recap of the week in guitars. And this is a great week to start it off because this has been the most special week in guitars for me for a very, very long time. I hadn't, this year I had actually sold a few guitars because I was buying a house. So I hadn't really bought anything. I was in fact cash positive on guitars this year. But all of that changed this week. So just to give you a bit of background, I was already planning to buy 3 guitars. Now that's not as crazy as it sounds. I'm always on the lookout for rare guitars at a good price. They don't come up often, but they do come up every now and then. And I had 3 guitars in mind. I had 3 that you see behind me. Ignore the Squire. That's just the guitar I use for tracking bass all the time. To my immediate right, I guess, your left, whatever. That's a Les Paul Custom Stealth. Extremely beautiful, a very rare model because unmarked ebony fretboard, purple binding, purple headstock, veneer, just a crazy guitar, stock EMGs. There's something magical about Les Pauls with, or single cuts with EMGs in them. I have an ESP Eclipse as well. So there was that. So it was there available locally, only 25 made. I had to get it. Then further behind, if you can see, and if I stop blocking it for a second, that is a very, very rare Tony Iomi Sg. Limited run that Gibson made, not Gibson Custom Shop, but just Gibson USA. This was the first run that had the not 24 frets, there are 24 fret SGs, but this was the first run that had the Tony Iommi pickups. And again, a pretty cool guitar, very rare, 24 cross inlays, ebony fretboard, the works, just well worth getting. Third one, which also excited me a lot, and it's just somehow all of these 3 guitars popped up together, and I was really only looking at the market, local market, in the last couple of weeks, because before that I was just not in guitar buying mode. I was more of other stuff. So the guitar to my left is I hope I get the name right, I keep misnaming it. Sorry, that is my dog expressing his point of view. That is an Ibanez ARZ307. It's a very affordable, relatively speaking, guitar. Small run in 2013, 2014. Why I liked it is I wanted a 7-string single cut. This was at a really good price. This one had been swapped, pickups in this one had been swapped out to bare knuckle, painkiller in the neck, and one of my favorites, the nail bomb in the bridge. So yeah, and it was at a great price, so it was well worth getting. So all of this was planned. I had planned this last week Thursday, and this was all planned for this was all planned for me to pick it up on the weekend. I had already made the deals and all the stuff. Then Friday morning something happened, and you can read all about it in the article over here, but essentially this guitar, I had spotted it on, we all do a lot of fun browsing all the time to see what's out there, and for fun we sometimes daydream and we do sorting of price high to low. So I was on the Adderton's website a few days before the Friday. I had seen this guitar, or I'd seen a very beautiful guitar, and it had been out of stock, and not that it was just an insane amount of money, so I didn't even look too much at the guitar, but I was like, anyway, it's out of stock, good riddance, I don't have to think about it. Then Friday morning, I saw a post from them, damn social media, and it was the most beautiful guitar I'd ever seen. And I've been in the market for a while for a Modern Eagle V. I have a Modern Eagle 1, probably linked to the review over here. And I have several 513s, as you can possibly see. If I just point this up, there are 2 513s, and there's another third 513, and there's a 4th one in my bedroom. If you cannot see which one they are the one with the funny triple pickups. One over there, one over there. This is really fun doing it on camera. And one right on top in the grey. So, point was, this model had my interest, but somehow the right one had never come. The initial run somehow didn't. They were all private stocks, but they didn't appeal to me. There's nothing that special about them in my. I mean, electronics apart from the woods and everything. This thing was, first of all, I'm a sucker for black, grey, gothic, metal guitars. I'm a sucker for quilt maple. I'm a sucker for swamp ash bodies ever since I got the Graveyard 2. And I have been falling in love with 24 fret guitars recently because it just makes playing the upper registers easier. And this just and I love smoked black hardware. So yeah, metal and matched headstock. So this just ticked all the boxes. Read all about it in what I've written, but essentially I don't do this. Every guitar is usually a considered, calculated purchase, but this one was not that. I just literally bought it and told my wife, she was understanding, and there we are. So yeah, that's been a pretty crazy week. Not every week, even in my crazy world, that you get 4 guitars in a week, but this has been one of those weeks. The best part is I am happy with all 4 of them. I mean, 2 differing levels. Let's start off with the SG, the Iomi Sg. It's everything that I expected it to be. Way better than the Epiphone that I had. This is not me dissing on Epiphone. I love Epiphone. My only guitar for 10 years was an Epiphone Les Paul, but sorry, there's just no comparison with this guitar and the Epiphone SG, which actually is the first video ever made on this channel. The Epiphone Iomi Sg, there's just no comparison. That is a quality instrument. The Epiphone, that particular one, just wasn't. One of the more disappointing guitars I've had. The Les Paul Custom Stealth, I just told you, there's the magic of EMGs and Les Paul. That thing sustains like there's no tomorrow. And it's chunky yet tight. So outstanding buy. I cannot be happier. And then the lovely little other side, lovely little ARZ307 with the bare knuckles, punches way over its weight like a lightweight fighter knocking out a heavyweight. That thing cost me, well, it's second hand of course, and aftermarket or whatever, but it cost me less than the equivalent of $400 US, probably lesser than that. And my god, it plays perfectly. It doesn't have shitty fretwork like sometimes cheaper guitars do. Fretwork is immaculate. Of course, it has amazing pickups. That plays like a $1,500, $2,000 guitar, if not more. And I'm talking US dollars here. So I was very chuffed with that purchase. But the highlight of this week is this bloody thing, what I have called the Night King, because of course this is the Night King. What else can be the Night King if not this guitar? So we love guitars, we're attracted to guitars on the screen, we see someone else, but it's very, very rare that you have that moment when one guitar dominates everything. So this guitar, I bought it last Friday, and it arrived this Thursday, so almost a week later, getting shipped from the UK and all of that. And since yesterday night, I had work today, and I had work to finish last night, but let me assure you, every second I have not been able to put this thing down. And coming back to what I was saying, it's very rare that you have a moment that a guitar is just you just fall head over heels, and I mean, it's not human or anything, but you know what I mean. It's just you just get completely fascinated, absorbed, infatuated with the guitar. It's happened to me twice before. The first time it happened to me was the first guitar I ever had, the electric guitar, because I was playing a pretty terrible acoustic. It's called a Gibson, not a Gibson. It's an Indian copy of a Gibson. That was my first guitar. It looked a bit like, I bought it because it looked like John Lennon's Casino, but it didn't actually look like John Lennon's Casino. I don't know, it was just an acoustic guitar, but it looked like an arch top. It didn't have the huge, the big center hole. It had more F-holes. It looked cooler than a regular acoustic. I always wanted to play electric, but I got an acoustic first because that was how you're supposed to do it, apparently. So anyways, point is, that's not the guitar I loved. My first electric guitar, the Honeyburst Epiphone Les Paul, that guitar was like, today if I play it compared to my other guitars, yeah, it does have its opportunities, but at that time, oh my god, that was the beginning of the dream. So that's the first guitar that gave me that feeling. It would be, and then after that, of course, for 10 years I only had that guitar. I got many guitars after that, including Gibsons to start off with, because I'm a big Gibson nut. Some PRSs, nothing gave me that feeling, and I was always searching. Even the 594, the one that my wife got for me, the one over there, yeah, in what's called burnt maple leaf, which she got all the way, she carried it herself. And she used to fly for Singapore Airlines. But even that was very nice. It technically should tick all my boxes because I like PRS and the Gibson, but it wasn't head over heels in love. Because like, yeah, this fills my brief. First guitar that did it for me was the first 513 I ever had. In Mateo, Blue Mateo. That guitar, I was like, this is the perfect guitar. There's nothing better than that guitar. And I still have it. It's sitting in my bedroom. It's my special guitar. It stays in the bedroom with me. That just sounded wrong. It as much as, and that was the kind of the door to the avenue of getting the other 513s and then finding out about Brazilian Rosewood and getting the Modern Eagle V and that whole, and whatever, that led me down an entire new rabbit hole when I thought I was done buying guitars. So that was the second guitar that gave me that feeling, and this one is the third one. It's perfect for me, as perfect as it gets. It's light, like in a good way, but not too light to feel, insubstantial. 24 frets is the playability is out of this world. It's got a pattern neck, which is not the thinnest neck, and I've realized there is variation even in the pattern neck. Even though it's PRS standard, there is a small variation, and some are more pleasing than the other. This is ultra pleasing. It just looks as good as it can, and the sound, my God, it's just my kind of music. Even though I started off very traditional rock and metal, it's really, for me, I'm really into ambient kind of clean guitar beyond the heavy chugging riffs. There are two extremes: ambient clean guitar and riffs like there are no tomorrow. And this does both with aplomb. Ambient, because the pickups are so clear, because of the Paul's guitar, whatever narrow style, whatever, they are like extremely. They are not like P90s. They're not like single coils. They're like extremely clear humbuckers, and in single coil mode it's like a beefy single coil, and that just lends itself well, even with just a little bit of delay. No fancy Strymon stuff going on over here, just a little bit of delay. It's just so beautiful. That was a neck humbucker, just a humbucker, but you wouldn't know it, right? It would almost be single coil, given how clear it was. Try doing that on a Les Paul neck; it won't sound like that. So anyway, this week in guitar has been very epic. So what better week to start documenting the journey? Continue watching, because there's plenty more where that came from. Over a period of time, I will try and make sense of this immense, guitar lover's paradise that I somehow, luckily enough, seem to have fallen into. So we're going to go through all of the stuff that you see behind me on the walls and in the cases on my left. Tell me what you'd like me to cover. I'm not the best guitarist out there. I'm not a guitar expert, but I have, I guess, through accidentally just bought and sold a lot of guitars. So there might be some things that I have experienced that might be helpful to you. Particularly when it comes to Paul Reed Smith guitars and to some extent Gibson guitars. That's really where my area of some level of knowledge lies, and I'm happy to help. So let me know in the comments if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular. If not, until next week when we go with episode 2 of Guitar Diaries.